Hey, LA Progressive friends and family. I am just so delighted to have with me today a young author. Her name is Kortney Nash. And Kortney is originally from Los Angeles, and I got her book in the mail. She has written a children's book called Tell Me About Juneteenth. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, I'll put some images up here as well. Tell me about Juneteenth. And I'm going to allow Kortney to introduce herself and to tell us what led her to write this lovely and beautifully illustrated children's book about Juneteenth. Hey, Kortney.
Hi everyone. So I'm Courtney. I currently live in New Jersey, but I'm from Los Angeles, and I spent many Juneteenth celebrating in Leimert Park, and just in my neighborhood. I'm in Baldwin Hills, for those of you who know, right between Crenshaw and Inglewood. So I rep my neighborhood till I die. But yeah, tell me about Juneteenth. The genesis of this book, I wrote this text back in 2022. So took about 3 years for it to from being written to now being published. And the inspiration behind it was I was having a conversation with my supervisor at work, and we were just realizing of all the holiday books that we have on the list celebrating different cultural events and whatnot, we didn't have anything for Juneteenth yet. So I wrote the book so we'd have something to represent this holiday on our list and beyond, and hopefully just another way for kids and Black kids specifically to feel seen and to, have another reason to celebrate their heritage and, hopefully enjoy Juneteenth in a special way after reading this.
Great, great. Isn't that interesting? It never even occurred to me that your reason for doing this was that you didn't have a book in the catalog for the company that you work celebrating Juneteenth, which is such an important holiday, and in some ways, much more important than July the 4th, because July the 4th obviously celebrates the freedom of the colony from Great Britain, from England, but it wasn't freedom for, and Juneteenth represents freedom almost 100
Exactly.
years after the Revolutionary period. So tell me about, how did you develop the characters in the story? And then tell me about these beautiful illustrations.
Absolutely. The characters, I think, was one of the most fun parts for me. All of the names in the book are people from my real life, family members and whatnot. So it's been really rewarding to. I visited my grandma last week and I brought the book to her and I was showing her like her name where it appears in the book. I think she's Miss Mary or Auntie Mary or something to that effect. And I showed her Mr. Robert, her late husband, and she was just so tickled. So it's been really great just showing people, those whose names appear in this story. And I have relatives who passed away who I also reference in this story. So it's nice to, I guess, just kind of pay respect in this way that I didn't expect to be able to do or didn't really plan to be able to do before I started writing. So that part's been really rewarding for me. And then the art, I know the art is such a showstopper. It's so phenomenal. It's like everyone I talk to just is like wowed by the art, and so am I. I do not blame them. This was illustrated by DeAndra Hodge, and I think she's based in DC, and she's just supremely talented. I mean, she took this text and just added so much vibrancy and so much life to this, I guess, like portrait of a community. And yeah, it makes me so happy to look at every time. I didn't tell her that the characters were based off of my family, but funny enough, like the illustrations feel like they lined up like with my family members and the people being referenced. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't know, a lot of great kismet and kind of energy being shared between us, even with like limited communication. So that part's been also really rewarding.
Absolutely. So I'm just gonna just hold this up. So DeAndra Hodges,
Yeah,
DeAndra
yeah,
Hodge.
Hodge.
She just did such a fabulous job, and I'm gonna, um, if I can, sure, I'll get permission to show some images on the screen when I finally put this video together. So this is a beautiful story. And one of the characters that I love the most is a little boy named Talib. And I love that you memorialize some of the people in your life with passed, and it's a person that we shared a friendship with. So tell me about when you first learned about Juneteenth, and how did your mom or the older people in your life teach you about Juneteenth? And you mentioned Leimert Park in the book. So talk about that, how you learned about Juneteenth.
Absolutely. I mean, it's hard. I don't have like, I think, a distinct memory of my mom ever sitting me down and kind of like, oh, like this is Juneteenth, this is what happens. I think it's definitely one of those things that I learned through osmosis. I think like most holidays, sometimes like you don't necessarily have a memory of like your first Christmas or first Halloween sometimes. But I do have a more distinct memory of being, I think maybe like 13 and being on social media and seeing this Tumblr post that was like, hey, like the 4th of July is not our Independence Day. Like Juneteenth is our Independence Day, like in the Black community, and really like laying out the historical context of the holiday and what happened in Galveston, Texas, and the delay of the Emancipation Proclamation news reaching across the country and whatnot. And I think, yeah, that was the first time that I guess, processed like the meaning behind the holiday and not just like, okay, like I know what happens. And, like I learned about it in this deeper way at that point, and which was really meaningful. And I think after that, I did make more of a concerted effort to observe the holiday, at that age before it became a federal holiday. And now, like you mentioned, it is a federal holiday, and Leimert Park has this huge celebration. I mean, they've been having the celebration for years though, but they have this really wonderful, like, it's not a block party per se, but I guess like a festival. And they have like live performers and music and vendors. And I mean, Leimert Park, if you're in Los Angeles, you already know that's like such a wonderful place, like every day of the year aside from Juneteenth. But I went, I think in 2020. Ooh, I was just saying the year 2020 is like sends a chill down my spine. But I went in 2020 with Talib actually. And we were just like enjoying the community and the music. And even though that was like, a masked year and everybody is pretty distant, maybe that was like one of the like lower like attendances for the festival because of course the pandemic and everything. We just stopped by for like a short amount of time, but it was still so special, like just be surrounded by others and to have this energy there. I wish that I could go every year. Like I said, I'm in Jersey now. But I've been trying to figure out, what goes on out here and kind of, get involved in that way. So
Absolutely. Yeah. So people that are watching this, obviously, this will be posted on YouTube. It'll also be posted on the LA Progressive and Hollywood Progressive websites. But a lot of people who will be watching this are not familiar with the various communities within Los Angeles. And Leimert Park is really central. It's sort of central to the lives of Black people living in Los Angeles. And it is certainly an area that I will be going to in celebration of Juneteenth. Great food, great music. And it's a way to memorialize the journey that our people have been on really for hundreds of years. It was a great victory for us to have Juneteenth established as a national holiday. And we hope that more people will learn about Juneteenth and how our struggle even continues today. So, Kortney, I just want to thank you for writing this book, for the beautiful, and I want to thank DeAndra Hodge for the beautiful illustration. Tell me, where can people find the book, and how well is it being received?
ooh, so you can find the book pretty much at every online retailer like Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, probably Books a Million, and some of those other like more regional storefronts. And in person, you can find it at some Barnes and Nobles, depending on like your area. I would just say to check beforehand, in the little like zip code search situation they have online. And at some indie bookstores as well. Of course, just I would say check before you go. Because it does depend, every bookstore kind of has like their own process for ordering titles and whatnot. So take a look, but definitely online, widely available at a lot of libraries across the country too. For anyone in New York, I'll be reading the book on Juneteenth at a bookstore in Brooklyn. I'll give you the information.
Oh, fantastic. All right.
Find the bookstore. Oh, the Lofty Pigeon in Brooklyn, New York. I'll be
What
there
is
on
it? What is the name of the bookstore again?
the Lofty Pigeon.
The Lofty Pigeon in
Yes.
Brooklyn, New York. And
Yes.
if you go to your bookstore and you don't see it, we would recommend that you ask the management to order it. And here's the book. Tell me again. Tell Me About Juneteenth by Kortney Nash and illustrated by DeAndra Hodge. Kortney, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. This has been such a pleasure.
Yes, is there anything else that you want to say before we sign off?
I think I would just say to everyone, if you're celebrating Juneteenth this year, stay safe, have fun. For anyone who's having their first ever Juneteenth celebration, I hope that you enjoy it and make it a tradition. And thank you for this opportunity. I hope that everyone enjoys the book.
Thank you. So long.
Bye.
Thank you for sticking around. If you like the LA Progressive content and the discussions we have here, please consider clicking the subscribe button below and also give us a thumbs up. That helps to grow our audience by feeding the algorithm, which helps to get this content in front of more eyes. Thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate your support.